sound, Dev?
It's wonderful.
Oh wait,
Tim?
I can hear you.
I can't hear JB.
I can't hear JB.
We never can hear him.
There you go. There we
No,
go.
where we?
I
He's
got it.
back.
Bong bong.
There we
All
are.
right, so we're good.
Yes. Whenever you're ready.
Here we go.
This is the Ninja Rob Podcast with Marco Perazzo and Tim Carpenter. The podcast for the true martial artist.
You had something you wanted to ask me?
No,
Uh-huh.
nothing super obvious that I'm wondering what happened. Not at all.
Are you referring to my eye?
No. Well, now that you mention it, what happened?
Just training.
Just training?
Training, yeah.
Just regular training. You caught a black eye. You
Regular.
got punched right in the face.
I caught a knee.
You caught.
Knee to the
Does
face.
it? No, it doesn't sound like you caught it. It sounds like you missed it. Glad you caught it.
I ate it.
Well,
Caught it and I ate it.
you are looking a little chubby. So
That's a shirt.
knee-
It's the new shirt.
yeah, I got a pair of those.
get.
How many did you get?
I got two.
So did I.
I think he sent me
Right.
yours though. He sent me
Whose
a
is
2X.
this?
What
Whose is this?
Wait, hold on. Before we get to JB's question, what do you?
I think he.
what are you
sent- I think
intimating?
he sent me a 2XL.
Well, how much do you weigh?
220 maybe.
Yeah, it's a double XL right there.
Nah, that's XL.
No, you're a double
all
XL.
shirts.
Yeah, 'cause you're
What are you? You're about the same, except I think you're 220 kilos.
I'm not 460 pounds. I'm doing a quick math. No, I'm about 200 pounds right now.
Yeah, but I think that's
202.
why it's a little bit.
Yeah.
big. That might be why.
It's a beautiful T-shirt.
It's great. It's
a great
nice.
podcast,
Good
by the way.
material.
It's
It's my new favorite podcast.
Kai Serm and his
Oh, okay.
wife,
Oh,
Bonfighter. They
bet,
do a
bet.
podcast. Yeah.
Podcast is called Burning the Boats.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we mentioned it before on our podcast.
Yes. It's our favorite podcast.
Yeah, I got
besides
hit,
our
I
own.
got hit in the face. I like theirs more than ours.
I like ours more than theirs, but outside of ours, theirs is my
So you
favorite.
like the sound of your own voice. You like to listen to your own podcast more than you like to listen to.
Well, I like that you admitted for when we get into the legal battle of over ownership, episode
Who it
97,
belongs to.
and anything prior to that, that this is my podcast. Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is totally yours.
Okay. And you got tape on your finger?
Yeah, I'm all fucked up.
Damn, son.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, see, this like I was saying.
Go ahead.
For
yeah.
guys,
There
for
it
guys,
is. Here it comes.
guys
Yeah.
that don't train, you
Here it
wouldn't
comes.
really understand the wear and tear it can take on your body.
Oh,
Really?
okay. So
I don't
tell us.
understand the wear and tear. I need a new hip.
Yeah.
I don't understand the wear.
Well,
wear
that's
and
I
tear.
think that's from
He
just
understands the wear.
That's from what?
carrying
Sitting?
extra weight and sitting. I
Yeah.
think that's.
It's not from the thousands.
I don't
of
think.
kicks
I don't
I've
know
thrown
if the hip
since I
was
was
designed to
fucking
carry the
15 years old.
the mass. That it's got.
The fucking-
It could be all the extra jewelry
It
too.
could,
putting
but,
the
yeah,
extra weight
it
on
could
the
be my Mr. T starter kit over here.
So
Yeah, I don't know- I don't know what
needs
happened.
you, who needs you in the face?
You know what's ironic is that it was remember a couple weeks ago when we got a question from a 270-pound black belt who said he was training with a guy that was like, fucking him up with like his remember the defensive moves? The guy was like posting and elbowing him in the face and
Yeah,
catching
yeah,
moves.
yeah.
Not the guy he complained about, but that 270
That same
pound
guy.
Really?
black belt himself kneed me in the face.
And you like it when I name names.
No, I don't. But
Okay.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding.
He actually was the one that made the joke about it. I don't care.
But
It was,
so he just
it was
smashed
actually-
you with a knee in the face.
No, it was my fault. It was by poor timing. I tried to pass his guard. I threw his legs by, and as I was trying to close the distance,
Improper
his-
technique.
just right technique, bad timing.
If it was the right technique, it would have worked.
Bad timing. It was.
No, because the
Wrong
timing
timing on a-
no,
on a
timing and
good
technique. Timing and technique go hand in hand.
See, this
You
is-
can't tell me that the technique is right, but the timing was off, because then the technique would be wrong.
It doesn't make any
Yes,
sense.
it makes a ton of sense.
make any sense. So you can understand how to do the technique. This is a stupid
No,
argument. But yeah,
no,
time
it's not.
just so all the people listening know, the people that aren't,
That want to get better. If the
timing is very important.
timing
with
is
any
extremely
technique.
important.
Right.
Timing goes hand in hand with the technique. If you're saying the technique was right, but the timing was off, then the technique was wrong.
Technique was not wrong.
Okay.
The
Sure.
technique was off.
Okay.
The timing was off.
Did the technique work?
Yes.
Oh,
I,
so his
I
knee.
think I got
did-
past the guard.
The knee to your
No,
face worked. Okay.
I got past the
it.
guard. I just caught a knee to the face, and I had to give up position after getting kneed in the face.
So you did not pass the guard.
I did. We stopped.
Well, how long
We stopped.
were you on?
3 seconds. I solidified it. 3 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. I made
You
sure
got the
before I.
points. You got the points.
I made sure I got the points before all that went down.
Can I interject?
Sure.
Had a nice morning meeting with JB today.
Yeah.
Great story. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
No, what was the meeting about?
We took care of some business. We went over. He met my brother. We got getting some work done to his
Oh, it
truck.
was the truck.
Yeah.
Nice.
7 in the
Son.
morning.
So
Yeah, I woke up at 6 on a Saturday. Very painful. But he might want to relay how's that truck going?
oh god,
The
son.
truck
Yo,
need more work than you thought it did.
it needs more work. This is just the caveat. You should think about just taking the motor out, putting a new motor in. And I was just like, really? And so that's the extent of what he thinks how the truck.
When he was giving it the once over.
Oh my, he kept. Oof. I was like, hey, and he gave me like 10 of those before Marco showed up. I said, don't wait until you, because I need someone to see. I need someone
Wait
to
a
hear
minute, wait.
this nonsense.
How many miles did it have on it when you bought it?
Quite a few.
How many?
I don't know. I can't be exact.
Ballpark.
300,000.
Maybe less than that.
What do you expect? You think you're gonna buy 300,000 a truck with 300,000 miles on it and
Buyer beware.
and take
Yeah.
it to a mechanic and be
No.
like, hey man, this thing's running great.
Like a top.
Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Clearly, you're gonna need a new motor after
No, I didn't-
300,000 miles. I'm not even a mechanic. I could have told you that.
Yeah, well, I know you're not a mechanic, but and you never said it, so yeah, I don't think
What do you want to do with the truck? How much does it cost to put a new motor in it?
I didn't even ask because it's not happening.
I don't know. I gotta write up the estimate.
He got to write up the estimate.
You get a
We'll see-
finder's fee.
we'll see how that works. So it was just a long morning, and then I had to go back to give him the key.
We went to Reading Terminal for breakfast. That was
Yeah.
the best part of the day
Yes.
so
What'd you
far.
get?
We went to the Cajun spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
what's
train
the name of
train
it?
wreck omelet,
beef,
in it?
andouille sausage, cheese.
steak.
Yeah,
All,
Beef,
all kinds of
steak, and andouille sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, all
and
those
I
things.
wanted a side of alligator sausage. Wasn't ready in the morning though. Got the gator sausage. It's nice, long, pure, and white.
What?
Huh?
So
So I've had a full day. I tried to take a nap.
So
Two-
yeah, I couldn't.
My 5-year-old busts into my bedroom. I just start screaming at him, "Don't you turn that light on!"
you turn it on.
He did. And then my wife's like, "Don't scream at him." I go, "I'm gonna scream at him if I want." And then I apologize to him. I'm sorry, little guy.
Did it frighten him when you screamed at him?
Yeah, he got. a
Or
little
is he
upset.
just used to it by now?
My wife says I do scream a lot, but I do also
You
For as
also
much as I-
apologize a lot.
I also apologize a lot, but I also do love them with every single ounce of my being.
It's hard to convey that while you're screaming.
No. They
So
turn
there's
the
a
lights on.
timing.
The lights
the
went
timing.
on, so that
It'd be
means
a
he loves
timing
them.
issue. Yeah,
The lights are on. The water.
He wanted
worked,
to see me.
everything.
Oh yeah, the timing was off.
Technique
Not
was
the
off.
technique was on point, but the timing was off.
Exactly.
I got
There you go.
it. So one thing I hate about BJJ is getting black eyes from guys that knee me in the face when I'm trying to pass their guard.
And that's
So we're back to the hate on site.
hate on site BJJ.
We can expand it.
Hate
If-
on
if-
site martial arts.
It could be. I mean, we can.
All right. So this my hate on site is
Let's try this. In general, we'll stick with jujitsu, but if something else comes up in your life, like your experience with the mechanic,
I had a great experience with the mechanic.
Right.
He's
it's
an
the
excellent
the
mechanic.
vehicle
He's a nice guy.
is the problem.
It's the vehicle, and it's I don't blame anyone except myself.
So my hate on site, and it's got as much to do with sleepy, as much to do with social media at the intersection of martial arts is the middle finger or double middle finger fighters do. And sometimes like after a fight picture, like kind of maybe that's a little bit more acceptable. But when people are taking pictures in a dojo or in a martial arts school or jiu-jitsu gym and they bang out the middle fingers, I'd like to break them off and shove them up their
Why?
asses.
Why?
That's a hate on site for me. I just think
I've done
I get it. Yeah, I wish I could have broken your finger off and shoved it up your ass. You would have enjoyed it too much.
Why
But-
that last part? Why not? Why don't you just want to break it off? Why does it have to?
As I
turn
want
into
them
like
to
a
keep their
homosexual act
finger.
all of a
No, I want
sudden?
them to keep. It's not homosexual. It's
What?
dominance.
Oh, okay.
If I rip a guy's finger off and then
And then you insert it in his
into his rectum while he's alive, you don't think that's a sign of dominance?
That's a lot of things.
Well, I mean,
that would be looked
if
at
you
as a sex
think that's
crime, and most
if you think that's pleasurable, I mean, maybe that's a
that
separate
would be considered
podcast.
a sex
You
crime.
know, hey, like I said, if you need to talk to somebody about what you're into, go for it. What I'm saying is that the double middle finger in a martial arts, social media, fingers
Just
should be
in martial arts, though.
for the most part, and something that you would say, your students are going to look at, other students are going to look at. Like, I would not be very happy at all if I'm taking a picture at my school, posting it, and I've noticed that somebody
Crooked fingers, all right.
crooked fingers, 100%. Yeah, crooked fingers.
Number one.
Yes, almost. We're working our way. All right. So yeah, that's my hate on site.
Double middle. What about just one middle finger? You said double.
It's a double, single. So I hate the double twice as much as I hate the single.
What about you?
Me? I think my last one was jits, right? I hated
Yes,
jits.
yeah. Hate
now-
on here.
Hate on here. What do I hate now? I don't know, Dev. You want to chime in? You want to chime in on what you hate? Or is there enough? Let me see.
Not in martial arts.
Right. Besides,
It doesn't have to be martial arts. It can be
All right,
anything.
yeah. Right now, I hate on site.
Home
Fuck
ownership.
No, well, it has to do with that.
paintbrushes.
I hate seeing fucking contractor quotes, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're telling me to put down these fucking floors, you're going to need $5,000? You're out of your fucking mind.
Welcome to home ownership.
Yeah.
I might have a guy that can. A guy I use.
A guy with a group
Who's-
of guys.
Guy with a group of guys, but he kind of like. You can sort of. I found him fair, and he stuck with what he said.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
So, if you want, I can talk to him, see if he has time, and like talk.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the show.
All fair.
There you go.
All right.
And so he okay. on
Did
top
you
of
get
that-
back to yours, JB?
Yeah, I hate like really overzealous beginners. Guys that like really come into like if you're gonna start rolling.
I know
the
why I
arena,
hate them. Why do you hate them?
They go-
Overzealous physically, or like guys that like on their first day they come in, they have like show your roll gi, a $300 show your roll
No, I
gi.
don't
They
think
get all the.
that doesn't. I don't pay attention
Okay.
to that kind of stuff.
They tape their fingers up even though they're not injured.
Yeah, I don't
That
pay
kind of stuff.
attention to those. I mean, those.
Hold
guys
on,
are
listen,
prevalent.
hold on,
I've
wait,
seen
hold
them.
on. I didn't do this, but that means that they're enthusiastic
That's
about
what-
it.
Well, that's what he's saying. Overzealous. Like,
No. Overzealous and enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic
are two
tutor.
different
Yeah,
things.
there's like a point where you go from enthusiasm to
it's like-
overzealous.
And
almost
let
like
me-
unbridled enthusiasm.
Yeah, before you fill it full of horse shit. Listen, it's those guys that you have to like. Hey, let's take.
I've never
relax,
seen
'cause you
that
gotta
guy that
calm
you
down.
hate
Yeah,
stick.
right. Just like that. You're like, I want to calm them down. Like, hey, just take it easy. It's your first roll, your first set of rolls.
Right.
Take your time, because some of those guys are so
Tense.
like, that they're burning. I tried to explain it where you're burning off so much energy from being like, ooh, that guy.
I think most people are like that the
sometimes.
first time they roll.
Yeah,
some
but
guys
I
you can talk to them and they're like, okay, and you're like, hey.
See, what you're
And some
not.
guys you don't. They're just like, yeah, and then they're just especially if they have like a history.
Who's
of some type
trying to
of
get
combat
beat
sport.
up though?
No, but and I'm not speaking for him, but the overzealous guy, it's as much about how he's training with you
Mhm.
as to everything that happens before, all the talking, everything, everything that comes with his over being overzealous, then shows itself as well in the training. But it's just like, all right, man, relax. This is your first day.
Yeah.
You don't have an opinion. You don't know, like, that's great that you're this psyched to be in it, but this is a long burn.
Yeah.
If you use all this energy now, this is only going to be a 100-meter sprint, and then we're not going to see you next year.
And those things, like some of those guys will get injured. Some of those guys will injure other people. And that's just stuff like, hey, just relax. Because I want to see your longevity in this particular arena. Like, I want to see you train.
To me, it
longer and
almost
all
comes
this
off
other
as
stuff.
horse shit when they're that
Yeah.
overzealous.
Yeah,
Like,
it's too much.
He's talking about the physicality of it. You're talking about
No, it's the same. It's the same thing because
You're talking about both of them.
you can usually tell when you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, this
Here
was
it
going to come, and
Here
then
it
when he says,
comes.
ah,
You're like, yo, chill. Like, just being overzealous you could hurt yourself, you could hurt me, you could hurt someone else. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So it's like, yo, chill. And then there's guys that don't listen. And like you said, most of those guys don't stick around.
for the most part. Then interestingly, their overzealousness becomes like an excuse factor of why they're not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, this isn't
like,
intense enough.
or-
This isn't
or-
intense enough.
Oh yeah, it's not for me. Or like I think, and that'll be the guy that goes to you realize he's at 6 different schools in 2 years.
So it's not. I love enthusiastic people that want to learn. You should just be careful.
Mine is similar.
I thought you already said it was the knee to the face.
Well, it goes along with that.
Oh,
but like
okay.
that. So the guy that kneed me in the face is not like that at all.
No, he's almost underzealous.
Yes. Yeah. Like, he's like one of the my safest training partners. This is just, like I said, this is my fault. But
well, your technique was wrong. So
the timing was off for sure. Guys that seem to be like, there are guys that no matter how long they're in it, they could be black belts, but they still, every time you roll with them, like the chance of this happening is like, 70-80%.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they just seem to be made out of, like their whole body has elbows and knees on it.
Yeah.
Like even like their shoulders.
I have
everything.
a couple guys that like I roll with them and I go, if I get out of this roll uninjured, I'm happy.
And it took me a long time to get to the point where like I knew those guys and I would always, like, if they asked me to roll, I'd always roll with them. But now I'm just like, no.
Right.
And
do you think
skin grabbing too? Like when if they grab your gi and they also get skin. That too. That's
do you think
that's usually the same person?
The elbows, that guy that's made of elbows, sometimes it's a matchup issue too. Maybe he's not elbows with everybody, but maybe because of your techniques and your timing makes it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have certain guys that for me, they feel like all elbows or whatever. I sometimes worry too much that they might injure me, and then I watch them roll with other people, and other people don't have the same issue.
Right?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know the people that have done that to me have also done it to other people. Everybody usually concurs on the fact that it's like you're lucky if you get out of it without a black eye or a cut.
Right. The most I've ever been elbowed is by one of our students. She's man. I never caught so many elbows. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to.
Who are we talking about?
We're not.
The names start with a Chrissy.
I shall not say.
She's made out of elbows for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of elbows and knees.
Nah, she's dope.
But she's unbelievably awesome, and I would train with her all day, every day.
But
if I would, if I wasn't terribly frightened,
right?
Because she's a
no.
If she was 250 pounds, it would be scary.
I would never train with her.
Never, son, never. She's the best though. Shout out to you.
Also wanted to. I know he's not like a underground hip hop guy or anything, but I wanted to have a R.I.P. for marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
Come on, son. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Did you hear what Tommy Hearns came out and said?
Tommy Hearns is still alive.
What did he say?
Well, I know what he said. Yo, son.
Come on, son. Respect.
Yo, kid.
What is your problem with boxers?
Yo.
Well, they get hit in the head a lot.
Boxers. He said, what's your problem with boxers?
Tommy Hearns came out and said that Marvin Hagler died from the COVID vaccine. And then Hagler's family came out and refuted it right away. Really? And somebody was relaying to me the story.
Hagler's family's probably been paid off by Big Pharma.
Well,
Jesus.
Number one, would you listen to anything that Tommy Hearns? Could you listen to anything?
I couldn't decide. I don't know.
Let alone read. This was like a Twitter. This was like a Twitter post. Right. I don't want to read what Tommy Hearns says. I don't want to hear what Tommy Hearns says.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will say that.
Rest in peace of that guy.
Yeah, rest in peace of Marvin Hagler. But Sugar Ray's still winning.
Nah.
Sugar Ray's still winning.
Get out of here.
No, I think Marvin won the fight. Sugar Ray's alive.
Well, clearly, yeah. But he was the best. I use his fight against Hearns as like an example when I talk to people. I'm like, you should watch that fight if you want to see like how to be aggressive. Because if you watch his fights, he was basically always just. I don't remember ever seeing him take a backward step in the fight. He just always had his opponent like backing up on the ropes, beating the shit out of him.
He was just like a beast, and it always looked to be in top condition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did he have? Like 60 some wins or something like that?
Something crazy.
And then like if he had like 62, 59 of them were by knockout or something crazy.
He had a few, a couple losses, and 2 of them happened in Philly to boxers that weren't kind of on the level of his eventual greatness. I think one was Benny Briscoe.
He had a fight in England where so the British guy, similar to what what's his name, Hopkins said. He's like, I'll never lose to a white guy. This British guy said, I'll never lose to a black guy. And Hagler knocked him out in like 3 rounds, and that was like his first. It was his first world title, and the crowd went fucking nuts and just started booing and throwing trash and cans and
Look at
shit.
that.
Like, and they had to like take him out.
Really?
Security. This
Why?
is like his first world title because it was a British crowd and they were upset that a black guy had come in and beat the white guy.
Oh, okay.
But then he said later he said he's had like tons of British people come up to him and apologize to him throughout the years because of that.
Yo, why do I think that did he move to Italy or
He
something
did for a
like
while.
that?
Was making movies.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
making movies and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But he's
Shout out
also
to
an
him, man.
interesting guy
Renaissance
because
man.
he's like one of the only boxers I can think of that retired and stayed retired.
Yes.
He didn't come back. Yeah,
he never. He was just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
And
he almost seemed
never
fed
come
up
back.
with it at a certain time, and then
He
wanted
never
to
seemed
move.
happy with it. That was like one of the things
That's-
about him. Is like he
Isn't
had
that
always
fed
been.
up?
I'm saying even
no. But I see what you're
throughout
saying.
his
Like
career,
you
he
never
was never
saw.
happy with it.
Even
Oh, okay.
Roberto Duran, you'd see smile every once in a while.
Yeah, Hagler
Yeah.
never smiled.
Yeah.
He always had. He had a little bit of a chip
Did he?
on his
And he
shoulder.
spoke Italian, or no? He was just the heavy.
I'd
in the
imagine
movies
he
and stuff
did.
Like that?
I don't
wonder.
know. I don't know.
I'd have dubbed it over.
Nah, I think he probably spoke it. But yeah, for all of you listeners that aren't familiar, just go back on YouTube. You should watch some. If the hate like that might be the peak boxing, especially for the middleweight. Up a few pounds, down a few pounds. Hagler, Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard. Like all those
Duran.
dudes.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
also
Duran.
watch his fight against Sugar Ray because Sugar Ray, I think, has even said it. He's like, I'm just going to win the last 10 seconds of every round. He's like, that's what the judges remember. And that's, if you watch the fight, that's what he did. He would just throw crazy flurries at the end of every round.
Right.
And
And I forget who Hagler had fought before that, but it was a super hard fight. I can't think of the name. And they said that once Leonard saw that fight, they go, "This is the fight that it maybe has taken a little bit off of him, and now I could beat
was
him."
it Hearn?
Oh,
Was
okay, I
against
got
No,
him?
it wasn't Hearns. It was somebody. I might be able to look up here. But go ahead.
Right.
But I would put Hagler in the class of like mean fighters. Like he was like a very mean fighter. Who do you think is the meanest fighter? It could be MMA
That's a good question.
or boxing.
I don't know if I've ever thought of it in that way. Who the meanest fighter? There was a guy. He was a Puerto Rican guy. I don't know if he was Puerto Rican or Mexican. He ended up going to prison, and then he came home. When he came home, they let him fight. Like they gave him one fight. What was his name?
Oh, you
It
talking
turned
about the guy? He was in his 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Was
used
that
to-
Ayala? Was his no?
I don't remember what his name was, but I used to train with. Well, not with him, but he would train at the boxing gym when I was there.
Was that the guy that
the older guy, right?
An older
Because
Spanish?
he was locked up for it was 25
Long
years,
time.
but he didn't do it.
No, it was a
rape.
Yeah, it was a rape beef.
Meanest
And
is
he was-
boxing
'Cause
or
I think
anything.
he had been. I think he had been abused as a child. That guy, and he just talked about what it was like, the relief he got in the ring to beat the
Right.
brakes off.
Yeah, he was a
somebody.
great boxer before he went in, and then he got locked up when he was like 18 for 25 years. And they were like, I think after like 15 years, they offered him like, if you
It might be
admit that you
different guy.
did it,
But that was B
We'll
Hop
let you out.
got
And he
him.
was
B
like,
Hop
I'm
got
not-
him the fight,
yeah.
right? Yes.
Right.
he
Yeah,
got him on the
brought home.
undercard of one of his fights.
Yes,
It
that's
was.
what it was.
I was referring to John Mugabe.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mugabe, he was like a hard puncher.
Yeah, and a beast. His nickname was the Beast. Man, this is tough. Like the meanest, because
Mike Tyson, man.
meanest.
Meanest.
I
He's
think
definitely
he's
one of the meanest.
No, I mean meanest, bro. He
I don't
wanted
know.
to
You know, just
to
to eat your
destroy
children.
people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that's
So,
like
It might have been, but when he
What it so what he
sold it-
whatever he turned on
When
when
he
he got in the ring, bro, it was
Son.
like that was it.
Well, you know
bro.
what's even
Explains
scarier
it.
than like, so you could see Mike and you're like, wow, he's a scary mean. I look at a guy like Fedor, who is one of my favorite MMA fighters, and he's emotionless mean, where there's no concern for the dude he's slamming and it's just like nothing. You can't.
it's like so
his heart rate never
Mike
goes up.
Tyson is uncontrollable.
like
A guy like
like
Fedor,
a bear or some shit.
yeah,
Right.
Fedor, he could turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah,
Like he will be trying to murder you, and as soon as the ref pulls him off, he's like,
we're done. Yeah, come on. Or
The-
you'd
it's
see
a little bit I
Fedor
agree.
out in social, like polite society, as they say, and you're like, he's probably not going to punch me in the face. I
And
run
then
into
you-
Mike Tyson. I'm like, I don't know if I want to say hi because I don't know
Then
if
you
I'm going to
got
get punched in the
cool
face.
mean, gangster mean. That's Jorge Masvidal. He has that. He still
I think-
he wants to. He knows you're knocked out and still pounding on your face like that, and still like and I'm gonna fuck you up when you get home.
Right.
I think John Jones in MMA is probably the meanest.
Yeah.
The way he like,
But the
so
way he
his-
sells it is very interesting.
but like the
Like
way
he
he
doesn't.
fights, he's like trying to injure people with stuff. He's like stomping on their knees, trying to like when
Yeah.
he remember when he went against Glover and he had that overhook,
standing
and he just
Kimura.
tried to like break
Standing
his arm.
Americana.
Like, he didn't do it to like make him tap. He did it to injure him, and so he couldn't use his arm. Like that kind of stuff. I think Jones is
Yeah.
the
That's
meanest.
the real.
The
Well,
way
the
he-
guys
there's
are
a-
throwing elbows and shit like that.
There's
so
a
it might-
rumor floating around that Jones takes this specific type of steroid called check something. I forget what the
check drops.
check drops. Oh, so check drops, and they make you unbelievably viciously mean,
So
and they're very short life. Like you could take them, and it's out of your system in a few
couple
hours. Yeah.
So there are certain things that are like extremely toxic that MMA and boxers take because it doesn't make you big and strong. It makes you strong, but it makes you unbelievably aggressive and like angry.
The check drops is one of them.
It's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like powerlifters take it like the day of
Okay,
before they do a lift because it'll make them like,
that would make sense why they wouldn't get caught for it if it's out of your
and
system
then
right
like,
away.
yeah, boxers do it. MMA fighters do it. So there's
allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's why I said it's a rumor that I heard.
but yeah, he's a guy when I think of like mean fighters, he's like,
Yeah, and I think that's
especially in MMA.
the point that you make that he's fine if he's injuring you. Not that other guys, they're not so much trying to injure you as a point of their strategy. It's like if they do injure you, okay, that's fine. Fedor, like you were saying, you meet him in polite society after the fight. John Jones is like, I don't know, let's back away.
I mean, he might be nice to you, but you think there's like darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's but he's also like Fedor. He's very controlled. Mean. He's not emotional when he fights.
Right. Yeah.
He's not emotional when he tries to like hurt people. And that way when he fought Cormier the first time, like when he kind of pretended like he was going to win, and then he turned around and swung on him again. Like that's the kind of thing. Like he really likes to hurt people.
And he's also like that was to embarrass Cormier
Yes,
as well.
he enjoys.
Yeah.
He wants to embarrass guys.
To
like
defeat every aspect of your fight game.
Yeah. And then Peter Yan too. I think Peter Yan's he looks like a pretty mean guy. That's what they were saying. The announcers were saying that too.
Yeah, he looks like everything he throws is with bad intentions.
Mm-hmm. And also like very cold and calculated. Like he's doing it when he wants. Like when he fought Aldo, I don't know if any of you guys watched that fight, but it looked like he let Aldo cruise for like a round and a half. And then when he decided to put him away,
that's
he just turned it on and like demolished him.
What about Nick Diaz?
I don't think he's mean.
No.
He's got an attitude, but I don't
he's a
think
tough guy.
He's a tough guy, but he's not like, he doesn't want to like hurt people. You know what I mean? You just see him.
He seems. I've seen him in person. I've seen you. I mean, I'm sure we've all
I've met
seen
him. He's like very nice guy.
He's super. And just cool.
Same thing. I met him, and you would think that he'd be a giant asshole, like
son.
super chill.
Nah, man, he was super. I mean, I don't want to ruin his reputation, but
no, but I think if you come at him wrong, then there's there's no in between. It's either super chill or him and his brothers, and they're beating you up.
And then in boxing.
It's because it's crazy because Kimbo Slice looks like the meanest dude, and it's the 100% opposite. That's
super
crazy.
nice.
Was.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kimbo.
Rest in peace to that brother.
But like in boxing, like the thing that I think makes Tyson so mean is like the biting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on.
Trying to
and
fight
they
people.
About Mike throwing
afterwards.
elbows Mike would throw elbows and stuff.
He
like
told
that
them
back in
people
the
he's
day.
going to eat their
also-
assholes alive.
Yeah.
He
That was
also
weird.
He
tried
said, "I'm gonna
to,
fuck you till you love me."
Yeah.
He tried that
Yeah,
same
that's what
arm
he
lock
said,
on
yeah.
Francois Botha.
But just
Like,
even
hold on,
the
the twist, like
Yeah.
who like the way he would
Yoga.
throw some of those punches where you're like he's looking to murder this person.
But the stuff like in the
I think
documentary,
looking to murder doesn't make you mean. It makes you a killer. I think looking to injure and cause pain makes
Okay.
you. So like to cause
I want to
pain
stab
makes
you and
mean.
watch you
Right.
die.
Yeah, that
That's
makes
I don't
you
want
mean.
to.
Like murder is just murder.
I'm
Gotcha.
gonna bleed you,
Just a
sir. I'm gonna
cold-hearted-
bleed
Yeah,
you. I'm
but
gonna
But like a
watch
guy
you.
like Andrew Galata has bitten people, thrown low blows in fights. Like that's
Yeah.
a mean guy.
Hold on, son. Nah, we fucking up, man.
Go.
Margarito, yo.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
a motherfucker.
Wow.
Margarito
Yeah.
beat somebody up with concrete, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
for the
crazy.
listeners that don't know, Antonio Margarito basically was wearing plaster
Where's the
casts
where's
on
the
his hands. It was against
The Puerto Rican, yeah.
Cotto, but also against the
Miguel
other kid
Cotto.
too. Didn't he do it against? Well,
I only know about the Cotto.
against Cotto, and he fought. You kill people. There's that famous story where dudes die in the ring with when you do that to the
No,
guard.
he fucked his career up. He fucked because Cotto losing that fight the way he looked. It looked like he couldn't understand what was happening.
They
to
fought
him.
again, didn't they?
He
Yeah, they
beat
did.
his
He
fucking
beat
ass.
He destroyed
He
him.
beat
the
him.
Yeah,
second
yeah,
time.
he beat his ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? But the first fight, still, that shit, getting beat, taking a beating like that,
Yeah,
his wife was crying. That shit was like Rocky.
Did you see the thing where they sat him down across from each other and had him talk? on HBO when they
You
did
mean
that.
like the
second fight?
It was like the build up for the second fight.
Yes.
Like they would sit
Yeah,
down.
son.
Yeah, that was
Your
that
man
the
was
first time they ever did that?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
Yeah,
I
man,
remember,
like,
and they
you're
start doing
crying.
it.
You just keep crying.
Yeah.
You just keep, oh, I did this and I did that and that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, whoa.
Punch
son.
the goatee
Right in
off
his
that
grill. Yo,
motherfucker.
And Margarito
his
was
grill.
like, he's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm willing to die in there.
Yeah.
He's like,
And or kill you.
and then I remember Cotto saying, he's like, I don't want to die in there. He's like, I got a family. He's like, but yeah, so the Margarito is definitely a meaner boxer.
He's terrible, bro.
And MMA. So you said you think Fedor.
I think Fedor just because
I think
it's
John
ice
Jones.
it's ice
Jones.
cold. Fedor is ice cold.
Jones seems that same way too. Like he
I think
seems
Jones
a
is
bit
mean.
ice cold. Ice cold is always the scariest.
Yeah.
Did you watch the fights? I know you guys.
No, I don't watch him. No.
You watched the eye poke?
I saw the
What
eye
happened? Who
poke.
fought last week?
Leon Edwards and Bilal. It wasn't a great card. It was just
No.
like-
That fight, did it end like in 2 seconds?
It was the second round, early in the second round.
I remember like stepping out to do something, coming in, and it was just like, what the fuck
There
happened?
was some quick knockouts on the card, but the eye poke was like it was. I thought the guy might lose an eye because it was like blood coming out of his eye after the poke.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
18 seconds into the second round.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So why was that considered a no contest and the fight with
It was
Petr Yan is not
unintentional,
okay?
and the doctor stopped it. I think, but I think it was just because it was ruled unintentional.
Right.
No, the
Intentional foul-
doctor stopped the other one.
Well, they asked him if he can continue, and
Yeah,
he said no.
Aljamain said no. The doctor should have stopped.
Hold on. Oh, Aljamain did say no. I
Yeah.
thought. Oh, okay. I thought that the doctor said no.
But I think it all comes down to intentional and unintentional. Like an intentional foul, I think is even though Leon Edwards poked him earlier in the fight and got warned, it could have been ruled an intentional one. If you get warned about it and then you do it again, it could be ruled intentional. But I think that's basically all it boils down to is that it was intentional and unintentional. But do you think there should be? I think they should change the gloves.
So,
Oh,
have
you-
you seen anything that would, because even with the curved gloves, right, you could still open your hand.
It's hard though. It's hard. You have to strain to
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Like the old Pride gloves, you were like this,
Okay.
and you would have to like focus to strain and push.
So
the
you'd
fingers
always
out.
be in a
Well,
natural
You're,
fingers
you're,
down.
you're basically like this. So even if you put your fingers out, it would just lessen the finger jab.
Then if that's the case, then yeah, I
Yeah.
would go definitely say they need to do something like that.
Change the gloves.
Just make them so. Right now, UFC gloves they're kind of hard to make a fist. Like they force your fingers open.
Because they
So
come
you're saying
flat
because
packed.
they're out too far, it's making your fingers stick out.
When,
straight.
when you
first-
go to the UFC, right, and you get handed a set of gloves, they're usually like in a piece of plastic bag, and they're packed from the factory super flat. So you have to break them in just to even get them to fit right on a fighter's hand and break them down. So they're naturally always going to want to go back to that straight, almost opening the fighter's hand.
Like it's hard. Like you have to actually consciously squeeze to make a fist.
Mm.
Whereas like the old Pride gloves, and I forget, there's been other like smaller MMA shows that I've seen where the gloves have a natural curve to them. So your fingers are always this way, not, you know what I mean? The glove forces your fingers in a little bit. So
I think that would be the only way you can resolve that issue.
yeah, because I think you can't make the penalties any worse. Like you start on burning the boats. They said something like make it like a $5,000 or a $10,000 or $50,000 fine for eye poking people,
Wow.
and then it would probably stop.
It would fucking certainly
You know what
stop.
I mean? But
But yeah, changing the gloves to that where they are more curved to prevent that would clearly have helped in that last fight.
because they made the rule that then you hear it in every fight. They're like, when you extend your hand, they say close the hand. But guys, still,
Yeah, that's natural. That's
And if you-
unnatural to have your hand up like that.
yeah,
Like, that's
and you
unnatural.
think of like the fights that it's had an impact against Miocic. He got poked in the eye. The fight before that, he poked
him in the eye.
poked him in the eye. A lot of DC's fights, he's poked people in the eye. So yeah, I think new gloves would be the only.
Gotcha.
You gonna watch the fights tonight?
No.
You gonna watch them?
I'll probably be painting this house.
Have you seen this guy? You're not gonna watch Gregor fight?
I do want to watch Gregor fight. Yeah, because this is an interesting fight for him. coming back off of, as he even admits it, that's a highlight reel loss for him. That head kick loss to Kevin Lee it's almost like the Nate Quarry loss against Rich Franklin.
Is it racist for me to watch just the black fight, the main black fight?
No.
All right, I was just checking.
You're
As
supporting
long
your
as you
people.
say, so if you're just watching it because that's the only fight that interests you, but if it only interests you because they're black.
No, the dude Holland is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's
like
crazy.
that's like
Is that
like
the guy
I
that
was-
said he's got a truck full of dildos and he's ready to
He
fuck?
just happens to be black.
Really? Nice.
He's a great fighter.
But
just
what
happens
else would
to
you
be
do with a
black.
truck? You know what I mean, like, what else are you supposed to do?
So yeah, I want to watch. I'm interested because it's very rarely do I recall a fighter losing in the fashion that Gregor lost, coming early in their career, coming back and being super dominant. Maybe I haven't seen enough fights, or clearly I haven't seen every single fight. But it'd be interesting to see how this comeback fight is for him because it's been a bit of a layoff. He's supremely talented. Obviously, has top-notch wrestling, really good striking, good jiu-jitsu. But this is really going to show you who he is after that highlight reel loss.
He talked about it in a press conference, and they asked him about the loss. And he said that's the best way he could have lost because he said it would have been worse for him mentally if the guy had beaten him up for 3 rounds and just completely dominated him.
Yeah,
He said that would have stuck with me and like made me question
I saw the
myself.
same thing. He would not have had an answer. He's like, I couldn't have figured out an answer. Like,
Right, this is a fairly simple one. Like if you get caught with a head kick, it's like, all right, I need to work on my kickboxing and defending head kicks
Right.
and keeping an eye out for it.
And
But,
where is he fighting out of?
Belmore kickboxing.
yeah,
Yeah.
up in Long Island.
Oh, this is your man's man.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
you guys talk about
Yeah.
Gregor. I've heard him.
National
Shout out to
NCAA
Sorry.
national rants out of what was the college?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Shout out.
really good wrestling, top notch conditioning, and a friend of a friend. He good dude. We were at a wedding with him, and he was just a super nice and fun guy to
Yeah.
talk to.
That's what's up.
But Kevin Holland versus Brunson, who do you got in that?
I'll pass.
Just pick one.
Holland.
Bronson. You said Bronson?
Bronson?
Brunson, bro.
Hey,
Bronson.
both of them.
Ronson.
Holland.
Holland, yeah. Yeah, Holland's the guy that knocked out Jacare from his back.
Yeah.
From his fucking open guard.
Nice.
But
But Brunson's the dude with the big B-shot deal.
what's that mean?
Penis.
What? Son?
So again,
You know what's funny?
it's a
I've
lot
heard
of
that,
homosexual
but
stuff
only-
coming from this side of the podcast today.
What
First
side?
you want to stick fingers in my butt. Now
I'm
you're
gonna stick your whole finger.
Now you're
First of all,
it's still fingers.
All right.
That's
His
Now,
B-shot deal.
now you're
leave that to his wife. son.
yeah, like now you're talking
He
about
said, yeah.
You heard your man?
Yeah. All right. Hey.
He's like,
Hey,
yeah.
whatever Nicolette wants, Nicolette gets.
Yo, you know what's funny? I've only heard that, but I've only heard it in like
The
people
Sopranos.
yeah, but they say it like they're saying it. They don't say it like you say it. They say it more.
A B-shot deal.
They don't even say. Do you saying PG de la Picamille or something like that? It doesn't sound the same.
so that's why you're picking Brunson.
No, I don't know. I didn't know who that.
He didn't know about
you
a B-shot
Wow.
deal.
I had no
Only
idea.
you knew about it.
I don't know if
How
I
did you-
only knew about
How
it.
did you
didn't
know
pick him?
about it?
What's that?
Listen.
I'll pass.
The guy that remember last week, the dude that came up to the other guy's door. That's how he found out. The guy,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's a B-shot deal.
he's like grinder. That's what he said. What?
Not
You
the
see-
sandwich.
So he's either gonna do Oliveira and Chandler for the
That,
title.
yes. Yeah.
That's a good fight.
Dev, what do you think?
The way that Chandler came in.
Yo, but Oliveira fucks dudes up.
I know,
I got Oliveira in that.
but that would be amazing to see that happen.
And
though.
and I think they've officially resigned themselves to the fact that Khabib is retired. That they're-
no, he is over.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Josh Thompson, the Punk.
Yes.
He
He's got a podcast. I think it's called The Punk and the Skunk.
he said what's going to happen is they're working on a super fight between him and GSP, like a non-title super fight. It's going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be like the biggest pay-per-view in history.
The UFC's doing it.
Wait.
Why?
He didn't say who's doing it. He just
Nah,
said
you're
'cause
doing
that
it.
might be
So
why.
Why
GSP
is
and-
this the greatest fight?
No,
Why?
it's not gonna be.
Because
Well, because they're
GSP
both-
is the greatest ever.
Really?
And
Yeah,
Khabib
I
is the
think so.
greatest. I mean, they're
I forgot about.
They're
GSP.
two-
I forget about him.
when you talk about the greatest ever, it's like John Jones, Khabib, GSP.
But one is current.
Agreed.
No, he's retired. They're all retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what
Except for
GSP
John
was
Jones.
current like 2 years ago. He came back and won the title after 4 years off. So like he's got a mystique about him. Khabib's got a mystique about him. That would be a huge fight.
How old is GSP now?
He's got to be close to 40.
Khabib going beat his ass.
I don't know. I could see. Then again, Khabib's a 55er.
He's 39 years old.
GSP has titles
And
in
Khabib is-
170
how old do you
and
think Khabib is?
185.
32.
He's 48. He's 56.
Yeah, right.
Khabib.
And
GSP might be a guy that could take
32, you
Khabib
said?
down and dominate him on top. It's just it's a very interesting match.
You think so?
Yeah, for
Now
sure.
I'd watch. I'd
I'd
like
watch
to see
it.
that. I'd like to
Yeah.
see
I
that.
mean, I'm
Just
watching
so-
everything. I'm
Right,
watching.
right,
Listen,
right.
You like to watch
the
it.
best fights be the motherfuckers I never heard of in the
Yeah.
beginning of the
but it would
fucking-
be interesting to see if there's anybody that could take Khabib down and do what Khabib does.
Mhm.
It might be GSP.
or the dude that looks just like him that chills with him.
Islam,
Yeah.
Makhachev.
That's the rumor I heard. Next big matchup in the grappling world. Did you see that?
Wagner. Oh, Craig Jones versus Gabi
Craig
Garcia.
Jones versus Gabi
Is that
Garcia.
legit, or
nice.
are they pulling
They both
everybody's
said
chain?
it's official. They
Gabi
might just be
Garcia.
trying to.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know I'm a fan.
Yes,
Get in there, girl power. Do it.
What you got?
Craig Jones all day, every day.
Yeah, I had a lot of people come up to me and ask me about you guys. They're like, "What the fuck are those guys thinking that they could beat Amanda Nunes?"
What?
Okay.
I had 0 people ask
Yeah,
me.
no
that.
one's-
I
Hold
had a
on,
lot
hold
of-
on,
They
hold on.
probably don't want to say it to you, but
Yeah.
No, but
What?
I figured out what my new
Nobody-
strategy was.
but I'll tell you what. Everybody said the same thing. If anybody has a shot, it's Devin.
Oh, okay.
all
what?
these people that have never met him.
Hold on. Why the fuck is she going? How tall is this
He's
woman?
like 5'8".
Come on, dog. She not beating me, man. This is crazy.
Yo, listen. So I was not really truthful what my strategy was against Amanda Nunes.
Okay, what's your strategy now?
I'm coming out like Hoist. I want to wear a gi. If I'm not allowed to wear the gi, I won't.
You can.
I'm going to do the old school leg stomp,
Nice.
clinch, pull, smother.
Nice.
Smother from bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
She's still fucks
My
you up.
plan. My plan is to sprain her ankle in some way.
Bro.
I'm gonna drop and roll into her legs, hopefully damaging the ligaments in her
I
ankle.
don't think you guys
and
thought
that's
this
about what-
through.
The
But,
Limmigan? The
Don't
Limmigans?
cur on
ligaments.
her fucking head, man.
Yeah.
Don't cur right on her motherfucking head.
Nah, I think she, but if we, like,
So do you think you
I'm
could
not in it
beat,
to win it.
Who's the 135 pound or 135 pound UFC
Shevchenko?
fighter?
Oh, female. Male.
Male?
Male.
No.
Any of them.
No.
Okay. So she's 145.
Yes.
She just happens to be a female.
Yes.
But you think you beat her just based on her?
Dog, her
This is
strength.
so real.
I've never. All right, so this is why I've gone. Listen, in Marco's gym, right? Whoever this one black dude is was the strongest human being that I've ever seen. Ever. He looked kind of crazy. He had like a fro. This,
You know what
dude,
he's talking about, right?
This.
Banks.
Talking about
He's talking
Banks?
about Banks.
I don't know.
Little guy?
Yeah,
He was
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
the
yeah, he's talking about Banks.
strongest
Yeah.
that's
person.
Timmy's black guy,
Yeah.
as Timmy calls him.
He's the strongest human being that I've ever felt. Like, why is he like this and that size, right?
He's like 130 pounds.
Yeah.
The strongest motherfucker. A woman, it just does not happen like that, bro. No way, bro.
So
No.
look, but real talk, because it's nonsense. You
Yeah,
just
it
made
is.
up
It's
the
just
fact that
goofing
people came up to you like
Had a
we
lot
don't
of
we don't
Some people
appreciate
that
you
know.
actually
Some people that you know.
actually lying. Okay, so that's just not fair to the listeners.
I like how he said it.
I will say that I have gotten messages about my choice of animal to kill is the manatee, and it really just showed. See, me wanting to kill a manatee proves that I can beat Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Well, so I heard.
This is the meanest guy. This is the meanest guy, right
Well, I
here.
heard. I had.
Yo, anyone who kill a friendly manatee.
Exactly.
This guy, right here.
Amanda Nunes stands no chance.
Yo, come on, son. He's just gonna. Yeah, you're gonna look at it in its eye. You're gonna
Exactly.
whisper. You like,
Yep.
I did this to you.
What about Gabi Garcia?
Going up against Gabi Garcia in what?
Anything? Jiu-jitsu,
Bocce?
MMA, anything? No,
Okay, combat sports.
Combat sports.
Combative.
Sumo.
Sumo,
judo,
all her. Yeah, I'll go
80cc rules.
Gabi Garcia.
She can beat you. Amanda Nunes can.
She could beat me in grappling, yeah.
Okay. But in a fight, you could beat Gabi.
Oh, yeah. Destroy Gabi Garcia
you
in a
you would
fight.
beat her on the.
Yes, I would. I would drown her.
You're
Yeah.
No, into the deep water.
Yo, I just saw this person for the first
Gabi
time.
Garcia,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Come on,
Son.
son. Yeah, no, son. Listen.
Yo, we
I
have
don't
a
know.
picture of her
You should
next
see
to
her.
JB.
Yes.
She makes him look
she's-
tiny.
listen,
Nah, son,
I
she-
want no work with
None.
whoever this person
None
is.
at all.
This is
Nah, son.
insane,
Yo,
bro.
you should watch her.
Who is
wrestle.
this, son? Like,
She's a multiple time.
Yo, watch her fight
Okay, so
I
know
old
you
woman
guys-
in
you
hold
guys
on,
are
I've
all-
seen video. I think I've seen a video of her before. She's like
On-
tall as hell too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very big woman.
got
Yeah.
an OnlyFans.
Nah, son.
She does.
I'm not interested, kid.
Nah.
So wait. So
You're
you
going
think?
back to okay?
So you
What?
understand? So you don't think you could handle her? There are, I think, 16 women that have been able to defeat her.
Really?
For
Yes.
real?
Yes.
In
In
jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu, yeah.
right?
It might be less. It might be 8. It might
It's
be
just
12.
the fact that this is a strange thing to see, so it's alarming. You understand? This is an alarming thing for me to see.
She pushed me out of the way at a tournament. I know.
did. I saw
I was
that.
like, I didn't know how to react to it.
She was like, "What's going on here?"
Hold on. So what is she? So she's so big she can't fight in UFC.
She fights in Japan.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, because
you
there's
watch
no-
her
there's-
fight like your grandmother's. There's a video of her fighting a woman that looks like a grandmother.
Yeah. She would.
So
she
nobody's
seems very
because she has
difficult.
nobody's in her weight class.
I would imagine so. No.
She's about. I mean, I think she probably gets down as light as 190 or something, but
Wow.
as big as 230.
Yeah.
240.
Yeah.
So
this
she
look-
has 6 grappling losses. Tim.
Okay. 6.
70 victories, 6 losses.
What is her
six-
abs made out of? This is crazy.
Fucking Brazilian steel.
And she's
son.
never been submitted, apparently. Yeah.
knocked out.
This picture
this is
right
just
here
a grappling
disturbs
record.
me a lot.
Yeah.
I think she's undefeated in MMA.
Listen, that guy right there take your wallet, son.
This is what I'm saying. This is, I didn't want to
Take
say
your
that. I
wallet.
didn't want to say that,
Nah,
God.
I'm
but
just messing
no,
around.
but I'm saying.
Respect to her, son.
That's
She's a-
She's
she's
really,
a hell of an
listen,
athlete.
she's very nice in person too.
Yeah,
Like when we
but
took the picture,
gigantic.
she's very big. She was really nice though, and she's a hell of a
Yeah.
that-
So you guys are transphobes and sexist.
Yeah.
no,
What?
Nah, I think.
Oh, this is a what trans person?
No.
Oh,
I'm saying you
right.
guys are transphobic and sexist.
Yeah,
there's
if
nothing
Gabi-
phobic. Don't use phobic. You got to come up with a different word.
Sorry.
If,
That's the
I would just be like, can we go to lunch instead? Like I was
Can I buy
like,
you coffee?
do I have to fight? Can we? You know what I mean?
With Gabi?
I'll buy you some shoes, please.
Gabi?
I'll
Yeah,
buy you
I
some
wouldn't. I don't
shoes.
want any parts. I wouldn't want any parts of that. And even, the same thing with Amanda Nunes. Like they're
Yeah.
high level athletes, and I'm sure they could. They'll
And
get
she's a
something done.
family man.
This,
yo,
this, yo,
And it's just
this dude is
hyperbole. I'm just
crazy.
fucking around, just like trying
Yo.
to. If I could somehow sprain Gabby's ankle, I'd try to do that as well.
You got to look up a picture of Gabi Garcia next to Vanderlei.
Yeah,
That is the craziest picture because she dwarfs him.
yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
She's very.
she was the
Dad,
coach
real
on the
shit,
Ultimate
though.
Fighter.
Yo, in the Galvao Gordon Ryan scrum,
she was
people parted.
Yes.
They parted like the Red Sea
man,
when she got involved.
Are you serious, God?
Yeah, man.
Listen, bro.
Nah, son.
I think it's scarier that it is a woman. I would just rather fight a whole dude that's just this
A whole
size
dude.
and get busy.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But like the fact that that it's a woman is actually more intimidating.
Yeah.
So, something strange about
So
this.
if you got beat up by a guy like that, you just lost to a big jacked guy. You
yeah,
got beat up by a girl like that.
I
you
just got beat up by a big
and you got
jack
beat up by
guy.
a girl.
Yeah,
No,
but
No
somewhere
one.
in your heart,
No,
you would
no
know
butt.
that you
No
lost
butt
to
at
a
I'm
all.
gonna
girl.
tell you how this
You're
is.
saying butt, but there's no butt there.
No, there is no
You
but.
identified that.
Let me explain something to you. I don't think anybody will see this as me losing to a woman respectfully to that lady.
Gotcha.
No one
Yeah,
will
she's
see that. This is different.
Yeah, she's
Yo,
a
her
hell.
ma-
She's a hell of a specimen.
Yeah, man. And super nice in person, if I may say again.
Yeah.
Very nice in person.
You said you were about to say something.
I said she was very nice
Oh,
in
okay.
person. That's all I said. And I don't think I could. I wouldn't.
And she loses the women, huh?
I'd be like,
She's
nah.
lost to several women.
In
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu.
6. I don't know. I think she lost to the same girl twice, maybe.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, in jujitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think she's
not in-
undefeated in MMA.
Not in MMA.
Not
Look.
yet.
Oh, well, then, yeah, damn.
They should do her versus that.
Yeah, she has a
Nah,
loss to
fuck.
Mackenzie Dern in
Yo,
in
that,
grappling.
hold on. They should do her versus that, what?
Fallon Fox.
Well, why you say that,
That Fallon Fox. woman.
Okay. Okay.
She's
What do
a
you mean
woman.
those
No,
people?
I just hate the way that you said, you said that,
That was my internalized transphobia, but I'm working against it.
oh.
Yeah,
So,
she's
look at that.
she's
We're
6
watching
0 1
her
in
fighting.
MMA.
We're watching this.
1
guy
no
go-
contest.
Watching his.
Oh,
Growth.
I think she like kicked some girl in the head or
Eye
something.
poke.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be interesting to see someone her size, like you know what I mean. Maybe we could find a volleyball player somewhere. You know what I mean.
I don't think. I mean, but
Who wants to
yeah.
get punched in the face by her?
yeah, she's got that terror. Oh,
That's look crazy.
I had somebody send the question in, but I could relay it.
Okay. relay it.
If you and it was specifically to you, if you could change anything about your mixed martial arts career, any aspect of it, but not the outcomes, but things
Right.
in your control, what would you have changed?
We'll get back to
Tim-
this. Let's
Tim
go to the other
Williams.
questions.
Sent
Okay.
that in. Yeah.
We'll go back. We'll circle back.
Okay.
So we got some questions. One from this week and then two that we didn't get to last week.
Okay.
So from last week, I think this was from Tommy Rocks.
Yes.
How important is the call out in MMA? Would the same fights happen without the call out post fight or whatever?
I think the call out is less important in MMA than it is in boxing. I think in boxing it carries more weight. It makes more things happen. I think the MMA is too tightly controlled by Dana White and Sean Shelby that the fights that they want happen. Unless you're either Conor McGregor or like a Khabib or somebody that has enough power. Otherwise, outside of a few select people, the call out doesn't really do much.
I think in the big fights, I don't think it's that. I agree with you, but I think when you're a up and coming fighter, I think calling people out is like the most important thing you can do. Like when you win a fight, not to like if it's your third fight, you don't call out Khabib.
Right.
It's your third fight, you call out, and you're sort of like number 15, you call out the top 10 guy. Like I think Chael Sonnen's talked about that, like how important it is. Like when they ask you, that's why they ask you at the end of every fight, is like, who do you want next? They don't want you to say, I'll take anybody. They want you to say, I want to fight, blah, blah, blah.
Right. But when I hear that question, I think of it as how effective is it for your career to get that fight? Will the call out work? Not is the call out in and of itself important?
The call out probably won't work if that's your strategy, but it's important to do.
To show that, hey, I want to move up, I want to move upstream, not downstream.
Yeah. Timing is important. Call out.
The proper technique is usually better.
And that was from Tommy Rocks. This one's from Lucas Davidson, is a Hellfish student. What promotions should you watch to see competitive Muay Thai, and what streaming services have them?
I don't know. I know the UFC Fight Pass has some stuff.
Yeah. UFC Fight Pass has.
What is it? Max Fight is the big one out of Thailand now?
Max Muay Thai.
Yeah.
But Max Muay Thai isn't really, I guess it's Thai guys, but it's sort of different than traditional Muay Thai with like the sort of slower pace.
Okay.
Max Muay Thai, they tell guys to like go out there and fucking swing. Like sometimes they even have some fights with MMA gloves, like Muay Thai with MMA.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But that's a real good one. And then they have Lethway on UFC Fight Pass, which is like the
like Indonesian.
That's like almost like old school Muay Thai where you can like headbutt, and I think you have to knock a guy out for like a minute. He has to be unconscious for a minute.
60. Really? Wow.
Like they give you a minute to stand
kill
back
a guy.
up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like it's
What?
crazy rules.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill people.
Look up Lethway.
Lethway?
Lethwei.
He was the one guy from Canada or something was on Rogan. He was a big Lethway.
Yeah. He's like the champ. But the thing about that sport is there's very few. The skill level isn't that high. That's why a foreigner guy can go in there and just like wreck.
Speaking of Muay Thai, shout out Bazooka Joe Stripling, who had a big fight in Kansas.
He's in the finals of a lion fight.
I saw I didn't watch the fight. I didn't see it. I didn't have a chance to see it. But the highlights they showed, he looked phenomenal and hit the handspring kick to the face, which was awesome for like a 300-pound guy.
He does that in like all his fights.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see that.
He's a big hit in Kansas, apparently.
Yeah. All right, then we got from Eric Goodwin.
Oh, I love Eric Goodwin's questions.
Yeah, he's a great listener. Sends in good questions. If you won the lottery, everybody can answer this one. If you won the lottery, what's the first irresponsible thing you would buy?
I would buy a McLaren F1.
Okay.
Hold on. How much is this lottery though?
Yeah, right. Because
this is
McLaren F1 could be like $20 million bucks.
The Powerball.
It says $1 billion. You just hit $1 billion.
$1
Wow.
But is it irresponsible when you have $1 billion to spend $20 million?
No, I've been irresponsible and I don't have any of that money.
Yeah.
So I bought an aluminum cast rhinoceros's head. So I mean, I don't know if I can do any dumb
You would get a gold-plated rhinoceros. You would have it coated in gold.
Thank you.
And
Now I
crusted
know.
with diamonds.
Right.
And that's what it is. No, my
The
standard
most
answer,
irresponsible thing that
I think
JB would do is he would buy a 4Runner.
I buy a shitty 4Runner
Get a
from
new
one of my
motor for that
shitty friends.
4Runner.
Get a new motor. Yo, so my standard answer is that I would get a all gold chariot pulled by lions, and I would go to the barbershop. I would get a shape up, and then I would leave the chariot in the middle of the street and have a helicopter pick me up and fly me off.
But you can't do
And I
that.
said,
About the
"Goodbye."
lions.
That's
No,
a flex
I can't.
though. That's a hell of a flex.
It's a flex, and it's the dumbest thing I'm gonna do. We're gonna
You
leave the lions right there on the
You
strip.
can't do
I don't.
that.
I'm not.
You're going to jail, son.
Why?
I don't.
You
He's
can't
got
have
he's got
lions.
lawyers.
You can't have lions in the middle of like
Nah,
Westwood Avenue or
Nah,
something.
they'll have muzzles on. Like, you know
That'd
what I
be
mean?
safe.
Muzzles on to be. Yo,
Declawed.
how else? Who's gonna pull my chariot? They gotta pull my gold
I'm
chariot.
not sure what a shape up is. Can you
Shape
get a
up is
shape
a
up?
liner. It's just around. It's
On your beard?
Yes, it's right
Okay.
here and right here. That's all. It takes 3 minutes for me now, and then I'm just gonna. The ladder's gonna drop. I'm gonna put my arm on the ladder and my foot, and I'm like, peace. And
It's
then
gonna
I'm
be
just
Black Hawk up.
Black Hawk up, right? And I'm gonna leave the line. I'm like, yo, take care of my lions for a bit, for a minute, son. And then that's it. I'm gonna just fly off into the fucking stratosphere.
Interesting.
That's the dumb thing I'm gonna do. Dumb thing.
So it would be
Dumb.
that would be the experience you would pay
Irresponsible.
for,
All those things. Yeah.
or would that be like your
I don't
general
know
mode
if
of
buying.
transport?
Well, you tell me.
That would be
Is
your
that how
general-
you would get around?
Like you would always arrive in a chariot pulled by
And
lions
leave in
and
a
leave
helicopter?
That would be your general mode
Wow,
of
talk
transportation.
about that.
Son,
flex.
how do you direct
Yo, I
lions,
know-
son? How do you
It
get
takes
lions
three
to
people.
drive where you want to
You
go?
guys see what you guys did? You made it even better. And this is why I come
Because
from
then
these days.
because then you need somebody to come
Every
and
single
take the
time.
lions away.
Of course,
Back to,
And
or are
bring
you
it
getting
back.
new lions every time?
right? Every 3 days. Every 3 days, I'm retiring those lions, and the gold chariot. You know, I'm going to keep that.
What you should do is
What am I-
get
what should
what's
I
his
do?
get what's his name out of jail?
Who?
Joe Exotic. Out of
Okay.
jail. He could be
Nah,
your
nah,
lion.
I'm
tamer.
not interested.
Nah?
I'm not interested.
Nah, you good?
I don't know.
You
Joe.
don't want him taming
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
I
right?
don't, you know what's
Yeah.
funny? I've never seen. I don't know much about all that stuff. Like I've never seen that show, that thing or anything.
Oh,
so
you missed out on a ton of entertainment,
it's
by the
fine,
way.
son.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cool with
About
it.
you.
A special ops team.
Like your own
I
SEAL
would
Team
have
6?
complete
A
soldiers.
bunch of South
security.
Africans?
Nice.
Huh?
That's a good
Like
idea.
The
holding them.
first thing I would do is
Mercenaries.
have the best soldiers around. It would be crazy.
So they're just
dog.
hanging out to just like play video games with you, or they're
That's it.
they're
To
on
do-
patrol?
Listen, first off, my dream since a kid has been I kind of happened for me, but I didn't say the right words. My dream was always to say seize him. And to have people
have him
seize
seized.
somebody. Yeah, just
Okay.
to point at a person
Yeah.
and just say, seize him.
Right.
And then people just go and grab him and,
Yeah.
and take him away.
I like
It happened
it. I like
before
it.
for me, but I didn't say
like that.
seize him. You know what I mean? I said, yeah.
And that's what it
Get
was.
him. Got him.
And,
Yeah, I got
they
you.
got
Got
him.
him.
They got him out of
Do you
here.
have it like so you want like a private mercenary force?
Of course.
Yes.
Would it, yo,
They had to
anyone-
be from anywhere?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah. Or would
Where
you have
would you
one
want
from
them
like
from?
you want one Israeli Mossad? You want one Navy
Nah,
SEAL?
I need them to
You
be
want-
all. Now I'm gonna fuck with American white boys.
Oh, that's what you. Hey, yo, best killers around.
No.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
If I had to
Hey-o.
hire these guys, South Africans all the way.
Nah, they're the
Yeah.
they
Get the
Yeah.
ex SADF. Those
yeah,
guys.
those guys.
Yeah, but
They
then if
topple
they're
or
doing
the-
stuff
those
over
guys
here, would it be
topple
considered
governments.
terrorism?
Nah,
No,
man.
they're mercenaries. Private military contract.
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of them.
Private security.
If you get them on a 1099, you're fine.
Yeah, I would go with, and this would probably, as a person of your complexion,
Of your,
this would like to be able to control Rhodesians and South Africans.
There you go. Oh, they
Yeah.
want
Like you
the
tell, you
Rhodesia.
say,
Yeah.
you say jump, they say how high. That
Yeah.
would be, I think that would be
Yeah,
an
yeah.
even better investment. for it.
and then bring me my Nelson Mandela book while you're
There
at
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Bang. What's yours, Timmy?
Mine's kind of tame. I would just get a
Okay.
bunch. I would get all the dogs that I want and have like trainers and like people to like.
How many would
$1
that
billion? The fuck, dog, son?
pretty
Come
stupid
on,
so
son.
far.
I'm a hey look.
This shit's
stupid.
trash.
I like
Your joint
dogs.
is trash.
That's
Yeah.
it. You're just gonna buy
How
dogs.
many, I didn't think
and
of how
have them
many, but
trained.
there's a lot that I.
Why
want.
wouldn't you
Some
say
of
you
them are
would buy like
a
wolves
boar-
or some shit?
That might be one of them.
a boar bull?
No, like
Definitely
all
a boar
wolves.
bull.
Of course you want a boar.
I thought he was going to say, I'll buy a
There's
werewolf.
like there's like
It's like,
a
what the fuck?
like
I
a
don't know.
Tibetan Mastiff that costs like $1 million.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get a
Like
couple of
something-
those.
I get a couple of those.
Got you.
You know, and then you got to find out if like I wouldn't want to be. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to be responsible for all these dogs. I want to have them
Do
as
you have
pets,
to-
but I want.
You
Yeah.
understand?
But I would
don't
also
want
I would
the
be
lions.
paying
It's the
for
same thing with
people
me and the
to.
lions,
But then
son.
they wouldn't,
Yo,
they
so
wouldn't know you.
You guys
No,
can work
the
together.
guys
We
to
can work
feed
together.
them, groom them.
Yo, can I
but they
borrow
would
your
live in the
dogs
house with
and
me.
you borrow my lions?
They
Is
just-
that how this works? No?
And then so Tim Williams' question.
Yeah, what would you change if there was anything you could change at any aspect of your career that you were in control of? What would it be?
I would have.
Fabulous management.
No, that was fine.
Yeah.
I would have focused way more on wrestling. Probably at a way earlier stage in my life. Like I would have, like I wrestled when I was in 7th grade. I would have stuck with it.
Right.
If I had any idea that I would be an MMA fighter at some point, I definitely.
Yeah,
would have
this is
stuck with it.
exactly what. Like if I would, if I would have had anything,
I would have
it would be
You
trained-
were
that.
going to change
Yeah.
anything
I
for
would've
him.
trained-
That and his shitty genetics would be
Right.
the other thing.
I would have trained smarter. I definitely would have juiced. I would have like gotten on all kinds of whatever was around at the time. I would have done that,
Right. Especially for recovery.
No,
and performance, but
mostly so I could beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it would be performance enhancing drugs, a lot of wrestling. I would have been more active early on. Like I would have taken it more serious,
Right.
and trained safer. Like I would have like not. I don't know. I think I trained too much at certain points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think back then it was still
But that
there
was-
was
yeah.
there were new day. It was new days for us. Yeah.
yo, if you saw some of the things, Dev, if you saw some of the things that was going on, like when we had guys,
Yeah, it would
getting
never
ready for
happen. Never happen
fights,
again today.
bro. Yo, I know cats were going home rocked. Like they're like, all right, guys, talk to you
ya.
later.
Bye.
Like I know they were going
Yeah.
home like,
You know what's crazy is that like
Like
thinking
that,
back, I
man.
think of how crazy it was. But at the
Yeah,
time,
man.
didn't seem like anything.
100%
nah, it was
normal.
just
like
the way it
100%.
was. It was just the
It didn't even seem like that.
Mm-mm.
It didn't seem dangerous or
No.
anything.
Man, yo, there was times where we had like 20
We had a
guys.
dude fight with a concussion, and we were just like, "Yeah, okay."
Yo, it was like 20. We'd have 20 guys in
Nah,
there.
it was bad.
Springing
Yeah.
it, son. Crazy.
But I think
So.
that's it.